Hi everyone. I decided to create another screencast for blog number 4 simply because I'm having a lot of fun creating screencasts. So the assignment that I chose was to compare two visual communication of organizations that compete with each other and compare the website and the website's grid structure in particular. So the two websites that I chose was Zales, in reference to Valentine's Day coming up, and Kay Jewelers. So we're going to discuss some of the differences in layouts. So as you know, Kay Jewelers and Zales are two highly competitive jewelry stores. And as I look and reference our book White Space is Not Your Enemy, I look at where it says about you're having appropriate margins. So we can see here that on the side there are appropriate margins in the Kay Jewelers website, and we can go ahead and check the Zales website, and as you can see that there are appropriate margins on the left and right hand side for Zales as well. Now the columns are a little different. As you can see over here, this looks like a 2-column website. Here we have column 1, column 2, and then we have a focal point. Whereas on the Kay Jewelers website, here we have 2 columns. And when we scroll down, we have at max 2 columns. It's so interesting as I think about some of the sins of web design. I'm looking at this logo or this coupon over here, and in my head I'm like, oh my goodness, here are some sins of web design that is not effective for an audience. The next topic that the text discusses is establishing a clear focal point. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll up to the top to think if I can see a clear focal point. And when I look at this website, I think that the clear focal point or their objective is to specifically sell items that are for Valentine's Day, jewelry that is for Valentine's Day, using discounts, because it appears that there are several discounts, as you can see over here as well. So, even over here. So, there's more of an emphasis on the discount than the jewelry itself on the first page. Here we go, another discount and another discount, another free item. So the focal point for Kay Jewelers' website is using the discount on the jewelry. And if you want to look for jewelry, then you're going to have to click on the other tabs. Now on the Zales website, I believe the focal point is a selection of specific jewelry. As we can see here, it doesn't, although there are discounts as well, save 20%, save 25%. The focal point is the specific jewelry that you can get with the discount, or introducing different jewelry to the customer so that the customer is inclined to look for more. If I scroll down over here, I also have jewelry. So the focal point of this website is actually the jewelry, as opposed to Kay Jeweler, where the emphasis is on the discount or the coupon as opposed to the jewelry. Again, here we have focal points. Yeah, so I think that Zales actually meets its objective. Whereas, again, if we go back to Kay Jewelers, it's the discounts. Emphasis on the discounts. Focal point is the discount. Next, the text talks about type. Specifically, and I'll read it verbatim, it says, type placement begins with inserting a copy and non-decorative headlines. The layout must direct viewers to the next important item. So we're going to look at the type here. Now, when we look at our header, the type is completely different than our other areas of the website. And if we take a look over here, the type is also different. Here we have a large font, and then we have a different type or font, and here's another. So it's completely overwhelming with different types and fonts that can perhaps confuse customers. Here's another. Certain parts are a lot more bold than others. Completely different. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Zales. So, Zales has a variety of types and fonts as well. It has logos. So, Vera Wang has her own logo, and that's a significant part of her logo. Here we have, again, the script like we saw, but there aren't as many types as Kay Jewelers website, so the audience doesn't get as lost. Over here, it's all in reverse font, except we have a few, very, very few black font, but for the most part, it is in reverse font, so the audience is able to navigate without getting lost in the font. So the font is there to accompany the visual, whereas in the Kay Jewelers website, it seems like the font is the visual. The text also talks about having a headline that is larger than the covering the story. So I'm going to take a look at the headline over here, and I see that the headline is centered, and we've read a little bit about centering things or centering items on web design and how that can take away from your purpose. And I'm going to look at Zales. So Zales, we have on the upper left hand side corner where it's not taking away from the website. Again, it's not bigger than probably the word love over here, but it stands out and it's definitely significant. So overall, I must say that Zales has a lot more visual unity, and it definitely follows the elements and components of the layout framework and using the grid in order to help them create an effective website. And where we look at Kay Jewelers does as well follow some of the elements of a layout framework. However, some of the elements discussed in this chapter is not successfully completed by Kay Jewelers, such as the font, such as making an easy navigational page, such as the loads of type, such as the sidebars. So overall, the Zales website was a lot more successful.